Hello everyone, I'm TheSylphWind. I've just flown in. And today we are back with more Dragon Age Origins. I think before we leave town we should have a few, chats with people. Get to know these strange new people with us a little better. So Lel, let's start with you. No. Talk to her.
What now?
Okay, apparently it won't let me talk to her outside of camp. How about you, Stan? No. Okay. Weird. Unpause. And bring back my interface.
Yes.
Hello. How you been? How's your day? You having a good day? What were you doing in that cage? Or I want to discuss some things you mentioned. What were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
Cute. You're the silent type, I see.
Your grasp of the obvious is remarkable.
Thank you! Are you going to answer my question?
I did. Parshera. Was there anything else?
Yes. I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Aw. Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
What was the answer?
Were you not at Ostagar when the army was overwhelmed?
Yep.
That is your answer.
Haha, okay, cool. Don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
When are you going to do that?
Never.
Oh.
I cannot go home.
Why not? Because, I also can never go home. And I want to go home, because I was royalty.
It doesn't matter now.
Yeah, it does.
We move on. We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
I am. Oh, you're not going to give me the option? Boo.
Then I suggest we move on.
Yeah. I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Yeah, game. Why are you not letting me have dialogue?
Very well.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Yeah. Oh, you proved by 7. Cool. Love me. Okay. Well, that was a fun chat. I got some approval. I think we've wrapped up everything we can do in Lothering. Or Lothering, however you wish to pronounce it. I think it's time we move on. Yeah, let's go. Goodbye, you small, quaint little town. I picked up some new besties. Good times. Now, where are we going to next? Running. Oh, you can't leave from here. I have a really bad sense of direction. I have not mentioned this before. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. Surface sucks. Hey, farmer. Hey, Fenris. I mean, Templar. I totally meant Fenris. Still convinced he stole that armor. He's just looking for Hawk. And I don't know how I know these names or why these names are important.
No. I was a lay sister of the Chantry.
Which means...
I lived and worked in the Chantry, but I did not take any vows.
So you dabbled in priesthood.
Oh no, the lay sisters don't have the same sorts of duties as priests at all.
So you were not a priest, did none of their duties, and took no vows, but you lived among them.
Yes.
You were a house guest of the Chantry?
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah, Stan, I don't get it either. I'm a dwarf, by the way. We believe in different things. Let's keep going. Come on. We got stuff to do. Hi, Chastened. Bye, Chastened. Running, running, running. Time to go to camp. Here we go. No more elf fruit. That is sad. Aw, the dwarves are gone. Oh well. But her corpse still remains. World map! Finally! Freedom! Cutscene! Okay, well, that happened. No. That's not the kind of dream I want to have.
Bad dreams, huh?
It seems so real.
Well, it is real. Sort of.
Oh?
You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was. Hearing them.
Oh,
The
cool.
Archdemon, it talks to the Horde. And we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
Cool story. The Archdemon, is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon.
Cool.
It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out.
Good to know.
Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't.
That's
Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me, too.
good. Aww. Are there any other surprises I should know about?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprise.
Oh, I doubt that.
Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
No, I want to talk to people. This is exactly where I wanted to come to. Because I want to meet all you people. You know? It's a cool time. Now, let's save real quick. Camp. Puppy. Shush. What?
Oh, why, you little...
Oh! Are you harassing my dog?
Me? Harassing your dog? I should say it's the other way round. Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me. Look.
Aww. Well, he is a war dog, to be fair. And your general?
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Oh, sorry. Also, good boy. Protect the food.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished.
Wines, indeed.
Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human
Ugh.
flesh.
Yeah, puppy, gag.
Oh, like you can tell the difference.
He could.
Oh, you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Hey. Oh, no scared whimpers. You are my fierce general. I'd never feed you another human being. Now, a dwarf, on the other hand, my brother specifically.
It's not cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
Yeah, low angry growl. Also, why are you messing with my dog?
Ugh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack.
Aw, he's so proud of himself.
A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentioned house.
I agree. But, you know, why doesn't he share his food with me? I'm his bestie.
You are welcome to this if you really want it.
Thank
Dirty
you.
Mungle can have this back.
Oh,
There.
you said I could have
Tell
it.
him not to do it again.
Do it again. It was a gift. You just can't throw it away like that.
I just did.
I also agree with you, puppy. Why?
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
Hey! Oh. I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Really? Puppy? No. Just no. Share food with me, though. Low, menacing growl. Angry snarl. Vicious growl. Low, terrifying roar. Watch Stan and Dog meet, 'cause... yeah, why would I not do this?
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Aww. Good boy. Good boy. Making friends with a canary. Good boy. Dogmeat digs furiously in the ground at your feet. Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? Aw, good boy. You keep digging. Alright, have fun then. Good boy. Good boy. Let's see. What else can I do? Well, we go talk to people. I like talking to people. Well, in games. Hello.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
Yes, here you are. This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
Well, that's scary. I just had a dream about an archdemon. You dreamed of the Blight.
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I
Maybe.
woke, I went to the
I also
chantry
know you
garden,
have some
as I always
issues.
do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered.
Aw.
Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose.
Aw.
It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
Yeah. Yeah. And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
Agreed. The Chantry says the Maker has left us. And by the way, dwarf, I believe in the stone and ancestors.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves.
How
I
very
feel
clever
him
of
in
you.
the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
That's actually a very good point. Believe what feels right to you, Liliana.
Thank you. It's nice to find someone who agrees.
Yeah.
I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue.
Exactly. Aw, she approves. I am racking up the friendship points today. What else you gotta say?
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
Yes. What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect.
Guess that's the point.
Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
You suppose? Condescending? How so?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain.
Oh.
They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
Yeah. Yeah. I pretty much think that's love supposed to be infinite, but... Again, I believe in the stone. Yeah, I think I prefer your ideas, truthfully.
Thank you.
You're
Maybe
welcome.
I am wrong. But it
I
is the
doubt it.
Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is
Yeah.
work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
No, you haven't. Aw, you approve. And yes, I am sorry for saving after every time, but I've had conversations go really wrong in this game before.
Yes?
I like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
Stuff? You know, a beautiful, charming woman like yourself. I'm not laying on too thick, am I?
And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were
Really?
many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister. All
Aw.
of them chaste and virtuous.
Uh-huh.
It added to their mystique. Because then, they were forbidden. And forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
Really? Uh-huh. I kind of like the second option just for the dialogue, but kind of... It's really not her business, you know? And that's what they say.
I did not take those vows that the initiates took. Vows of poverty, chastity, among others. The
Really?
Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
And why were you seeking safe harbor?
The Chantry does not pride, and you should.
Yes.
I desired
I am traveling with you!
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais.
Uh-huh.
Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course.
You're...
Let's move on.
No. Aw, she approved by that again. Also, no, I'm not gonna let that go. That was the I am backpedaling move. I know it well.
Yes.
I want to talk.
Well, here I am.
You are a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself.
Yay!
Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Aw. Yeah, let's hear something exotic. Do you know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the
Ew.
Knight of Orlais.
Cool. Go ahead. That sounds interesting. That does sound interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before
Aw.
the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took
Aw.
pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own.
That's nice.
Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield a sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
To say, not very. She broke her neck falling off of her horse. Do. Please continue.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle.
How?
And wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. they bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor.
Where did
and
it
sent
come
her
from?
To prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now, in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney.
Yeah.
But Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
So it's not like the armor you're wearing were boobs. Did she win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd.
Aw.
Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time.
Can't blame him.
Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so.
Ew.
Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline.
Do you blame
Kaleva
him?
was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees
Understand
Know
that,
your
especially
place,
given,
woman,
you know,
cried
Andraste,
and slit her
she's
throat.
so prominent in the religion, why it wouldn't be allowed for women to fight? Unless this is just Orlais being Orlais. I was hoping for a happy ending.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land.
Yeah.
When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevaliers.
Yay!
He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevaliers.
Aw. That was cool. Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one.
Cool.
Told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone.
Yay.
Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Yeah, maybe. Flemeth? Morgan's mother was called Flemeth.
Are you sure?
Yep,
Was she the Flemeth of legend?
I think so.
Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches?
Well,
Flemeth,
I mean, you met
demon
Morgan,
touch,
right?
Who dwells in the mists?
She didn't really introduce herself as such.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth.
Huh.
They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Flemeth was once beautiful? That feels a little low blow for her. Tell me the whole story.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea.
Oh,
When
debatable.
she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife.
Yeah.
Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be
Yeah,
taken
the circle
from
does
him.
that.
Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art.
Yeah,
And
powerful
then
ally.
one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've heard a very different version of this from Morgan. You, the plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes.
That
They
was
lived there
nice of
happily
them.
for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time.
Yes.
Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her.
No.
But when Flemeth and Osen
It's a
entered
trap.
Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love,
Flemeth does not dawn on me as the
plotted
type that would let that
revenge against her
happen.
husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle run red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took
I
to her
believe the
side
last
many
part.
chastened men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the
Hey,
Kokari
Morgan!
Islands.
Are you crawling the wilds as we speak? Tell me about the Darkspawn. So that way I can stop thinking about Morgan's mom.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn.
Yes.
In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself.
Well, we know that's just a
So
lie.
thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator.
Yeah,
But
I
they
saw
were
the opening
impure
cutscene.
and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his
And
sight.
see, this is why I say the
Wherever
Maker
they
is
went,
mean.
They spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of her hubris.
She has a lot more stories to tell. That she does. Maybe there's another one I hear.
Which one?
What you know about Andraste?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become
Wow,
his
she feels like a
divine
Mary
bride.
Sue.
But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So
Or maybe
earnest
let her have
was
a
her
harem.
plea
I don't know.
that the Maker was moved and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him.
Ahem.
And this
False
is why
gods?
Andraste began her exalted
the
march
stone,
on the idolaters
Liliana,
of the
the
Tevinter
stone.
Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies.
I can get behind
Andraste
smiting,
brought
though.
the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker.
How did Andraste die?
Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste.
Yeah.
Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed.
Yeah,
And
that
Maferath
would
began
more
to see
bother
their
me
own
if I were
bond
the
waning in
significant other.
significance, as Andraste
No,
became
we're
ever more
together.
devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hyserian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
Wow. Why did the Maker not save her with his power?
I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her?
Yeah.
This question has come to me many times,
Me
and
too.
I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We will never know for sure.
Maybe. Do you know anything about the Dalish?
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters.
Yay!
The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium.
Good for them.
The elves claimed the Dales in the south.
For all the
and
good it
settled
did
there
them.
in the land of their own.
It didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry.
Good.
This angered the chantry, and the hostility
Because, you know,
between the
the
two
chantry
factions
is about
finally
love and
broke out in
acceptance.
open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it.
I don't.
The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted
Because
march
they're
of
the same
Dells,
thing.
the
Oh wait,
elven
no
cities
they're
were
not.
sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens.
Yeah, I don't like
But
that.
others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
If you will. You know, good talking to you, Lil. Good story time. Thank you. Aw, and she approved. Cool. I approve of you too. Yeah, except for, yeah, is still a dwarf.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
You're a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Yes, yes we should. Darkspawn Elven Flemeth. There's another story one to hear. Shartan Drusty's death. Okay. I know she has one more story. It's actually one of my favorites that she tells. It looks like I do not have access to it just yet. So,
It
that's
will come
sad.
to you soon, I'm sure.
Oh well. You take care, Lel. I might need to get your approval up higher to get that story. Let's see. Actually, looking at the time marker, we've been going for a bit. I think here might be a good place to cut the video. When we come back, we will talk to Sten and maybe go over there and talk to those dwarves that look awfully darn familiar, don't they? Well, until next, tak, likatelok, hello.